fellow gamers. Welcome to the second edition of the NOOB series featuring God of War 4. This video is going to be carrying on from the area just after the Baldur boss fight, and it's going to be continuing all the way up to Freya's house. Okay, so after getting through this chasm, the first place we're going to get to is a little Draugr fight, just before the first lore marker of the game. So once again, the key to this fight is to try and get them over to that wall in the background, and then just go for the wall pin, because they are still damage sponges. We're still dealing with level 1 Kratos at the moment. So just cutting to the end of that fight, we're just going to collect a few collectibles here while the game loads up. Alright, right here is the game's first lore marker. Alright, our next trophy-related objective is just up this cliff. So we're going to collect a bit of hack silver, fight a frost Draugr. Fun tip, the frost Draugrs are not immune to the frost axe, only the hellwalkers are. Alright, right here is going to be our first legendary chest of the game, which is going to contain our first frost runic of the game. And then, after using that frost runic once, we get the second trophy of the game popping on screen right now. And the next section I'm going to bring you to is the first difficult battle section of the game. So this battle is just something that may be challenging to a lot of players, especially on Give Me God of War mode. So what we're going to do is we're just going to come over to this cliffside, lure the Draugr over, and then as soon as they're right next to the cliffside, we're going to hit them into the air, and then use the all-one Punisher to send them flying over the edge. So right now you can see the arrows are flashing red whenever they're nearby. We're just going to count on that. Alright, now that we're running out of basic Draugr, we've only got the fire-throwing ones left, we're just going to actually turn the camera to start looking at the foot Draugr first. Alright, now that there's only 3 left, the fire-throwing ones, we're just going to throw the frost axe at them from a distance. This may be a very cheap way of doing it, but it is the safest way. And trust me, you don't want to be doing this fight 500 times because you wanted to do it the warrior way. Alright, so just in front of us is a story-relevant lore marker, but nonetheless a lore marker that goes towards our lore marker counter. Alright, now we're going to move into the second part of this fight, which is going to be against 4 brute Draugr, and then just a couple of foot soldiers. So, the brute Draugr can be spammed by just throwing the frost axe at them repeatedly. It completely stun locks them, there's nothing they can do about it. As you can see with this guy right now, I'm just employing the old tactic of just throwing him over the side. And now, I'm going to use the Spartan Rage's moves to try and throw these guys over the side as well. Now there's only 1 left, so it's a simple matter of just hitting him with the frost axe until he goes down. It'll take about, 6 seconds? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1... Alright, moving on to the next trophy-relevant part of the game. If you recognise this place, it's just before the big Nornir chest. So, we're just going to take out this Draugr that tries to surprise attack us. It probably got you a few times the first time you played the game. Even though I did see it coming, I still managed to get hit by it somehow. Alright, and the third rune is just here. And inside of here is going to be the second Eden Apple. Alright, next thing we do is just loop back on ourselves a couple of steps. And then we get to play the developer's favourite minigame again. Kill the entire room full of Draugr. Okay, so I killed the entire room full of Draugr. And now that I've got the last guy, just dead now, somehow managed to wall pin him while he's still standing. Right here on the ground is a scroll with a bit of lore in it. That's the third lore marker of the game. And just down here is going to be the second Jotnar shrine of the game. Okay, now that we've unlocked the second Jotnar shrine, we're going to make our way back to the main quest, right back to that bridge that we just unlocked a minute ago. Grab this chest just because it's here. Put the axe away, and as soon as we get round this corner, immediately get ready to start spamming all-one on this Hellwalker. It's just a battle of attrition. You can usually just continue to spam all-one, and you'll usually be faster than they are. Now, in this case, he actually does hit me. Not that it matters, he doesn't really do that much damage, even on this difficulty. Alright, so as soon as we finished him off, the first thing we're going to do, after restoring our health obviously, is to put the frost axe back in our hands, and start running over to this gear. And we're going to want to get this revenant near the cliffside. So stun him, and then send him flying over the side with Spartan Rage. Alright, so we're going to do the same thing with this guy. We're going to send him flying over the side. Now, I actually tried to go for the wall pin on this guy, not realising that he's too high a level to be hit off the ground. So for this difficult battle guide, we're going to go for strategy number 2, which is to get around this corner here, out of the range of this guy's fireballs, while just using the axe throw to spam this brute to death. Alright, now the fire Draugr will go down pretty easily. Just spam your highest damaging move, so I'm going to go for the axe chop, personally. Alright, that concludes all the difficult battle guides for this video. So we're going to skip over the human and Hellwalker fight, and we're going to get straight to the next part, where the next collectible is. And so we are going to have one of Odin's ravens right here in front of us. Okay, so after looting this red chest, we're going to go right down this climbing chain that's right next to it. And towards the end of this section right here is going to be the first collectible of the level, the Face of Magic. Alright, the next thing to do is to go through a big story-related cutscene. I'm going to skip it for your viewing pleasure. So we get straight to Brock's shop. Now, he's going to force us to upgrade the Frost Axe, so we don't get to play through the game with a level 1 Frost Axe if we choose to. So, I'm going to buy the Boarhide stuff because it gives us strength. And once I'm done buying both pieces of gear, we will get the Dwarven Ingenuity Trophy. Just going to sell all the artifacts, just for a bit of extra hack silver. Alright, next the game tries to throw its favourite curveball at us. A room full of Draugr. Now obviously I'm just going to skip that. So what you're seeing on screen right now is me looting the other side of the room from the place where we fought the Difficult Battle Guide Part 2. Now, there is a collectible that I missed just over here in the background, and this is going to be the Face of Magic Part 2. Now, I'm just going to continue with the game. So, you see me crushing the last wave of Draugr with this ceiling. Alright, and as we get through this door, the Face of Magic Part 3 is going to be just here in front of us. Alright, now we're going to boost ourselves up on the ceiling, and the first rune is right here, second rune up here, and third rune just there in the cave, for the Nornir chest that is just behind us, obviously after I loot this hack silver chest. There we go, there's the Nornir chest. Alright, now that we've opened up the Nornir chest, we're going to go and find the fourth Face of Magic collectible, which is going to appear just over there on the left after we finish this cutscene. So just come over here, and it's right here on this corpse. Alright, now skipping to the end of this little puzzle section, as soon as we get through this big revolving door, turn to the first left. And right here is the fifth Face of Magic collectible. And in this cave is another collectible, so we're going to get right to the end. Okay, and just here in the skylight section will be the second Raven of the game. It takes me a few attempts to get it in the actual game, so I'm just going to skip to the part where I get it. There we go. Alright, now if we continue, we're going to meet the second troll boss of the game. This is probably the hardest troll boss that you are forced to encounter. Now, I know these troll bosses do get a bit repetitive throughout the game, but to be fair, you only have to fight about 4 of them, and this is number 2. Alright, the main key here is just to take care of these poison Draugr that are spawning around it. And once again, repeat the normal troll strategy of just moving around in a clockwise motion. There's a couple of poison Draugr spawning in the background, so I'm just going to take care of those. I'm going to use this big shrub area here for coverage. And I'm just going to walk around whenever he gets a bit too close. Alright, skipping to the end, he drops the Valkyrie's Anvil runic. And then just up here is going to be the next lore marker of the game. But we're not going to go straight to it. Alright, so the place that we are going to go to is just here over the troll boss fight. And just up here on this big rib looking thing, big rib archway, is going to be the third raven of the game. Alright, now we're going to try and open up the Nornir chest by hitting these runes in the distance. Just stand here and slowly aim up every single time you miss. Eventually you'll hit it. I hit it on this one right here. So that's the first one, second one, third one. Now we open up the Nornir chest. And it's going to be an Eden apple, which is going to increase our max health right now. Alright, so now this climbing rope has come down, so I'm going to climb up it. And here's going to be the last lore marker of this video. Now before we move on to the next section, I'm just going to quickly clear out some of these chests, collect all the hack silver on the ground. Now I'm going to equip an enchantment onto the armour, and as soon as we do that, we're going to unlock the Enchanted Trophy, as you see on screen right now. Alright, as we near the end of this first section, we get the last Odin's Raven, just here on this roof. Alright, so after I'm done just clearing up this area, I'm going to speed through it. So just over here behind one of the houses, just over here, is going to be our 6th Face of Magic collectible. Alright, all that's left is to just skip to the end of the Freya section. She gives you a couple of missions where she asks you to go and pick some flowers out of her backyard, but we're just going to exit through the underground section, where we will get our next trophy, a new friend, and the last trophy of this video. Alright, coming down underneath her house, just going to push this Draugr off the side to avoid having to actually fight it. We're going to push this giant block out of the way slightly, get the red chest just behind it. Then we're going to push the giant block into the water. Then jumping into this middle section, we're going to have the last Phase of Magic collectible for this video. Then there is only one thing left before we end this section. That's this legendary chest, which is going to contain our first talisman. Thanks for watching the video, guys. Like, comment, subscribe, ring the notification bell, and share this video with your friends. Doing any of these things will help my channel to grow, and will help me to be recognised by the YouTube algorithm. Alright guys, now as is tradition, I'm just going to show you the stat screen, just to keep you all up to date with what's going on.